Okay, so we're in the middle. We just saw the Gemara's first teretz, Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. The Gemara just finished saying the first teretz. How come? And we have some mishnayos that first it lists one thing, lists the second thing, and then it goes on to explain the first thing. And in our case, in our Mishnah, it lists first Yadis Nedarim, Kinu Nedarim, then Yadis, and then it goes on to explain the second thing, which is Yadis Nedarim. So we just saw the first teretz. Gemara said sometimes it does like this, sometimes it does like this. Now the Gemara says the second teretz. The Ibois Ema. We are the third line from the top. Daf Gimel Amud Aleph, Maseches Nedarim. So the Gemara says the Ibois Ema. I can tell you another teretz. Yadois, the halachas of Yadois, Aidais and Midrasha. Since these halachas learned that from Midrasha and it's not mafurish in the Torah, mafarish l'mereisha. Therefore, it says at first, since it's a bigger chiddush. Says the Gemara weiter. So the Gemara asks on this. V'liftach hadein. That since the halachas of Yadis attack more of a chiddush, then why did the Tana start off first with the bigger chiddush? Should it start talking about the Yadis first? Lift the Chadei Mereisha. Let it start talking about Yadis and not Kinuyin. And for the Gemara, Miftach Pasach B'Kinuyin Deraisa Bereisha wants to start with the Kinuyin, which are clearly written in the Torah first. That's the way the Tana usually does it. Starts off with the simpler things first. And then it goes on to explain Yadois, the Lashonis of Yadois, which are learned out from Drashas, which is a bigger Chiddush. So first it wants to say the simpler thing, and then it says a more bigger Chiddush. Zok the Gemara. It's very good that the Kinuyin are listed in the Mishnah if you hold that they're, according to the Manda Amar, that holds that they're Lashon Achrim. So what does it mean as Lashon Achrim? That means and that's a shita of Rabbi Yochanan. So the Lashonis of Kanuyim are, let's say, Kaineach, Kainis. So it's different Lashonis you would use to say carbon. So Hanich Lamanama says that the Lashon Achrim, that they're just different Lashonis to use for carbon, substitute for carbon. So that's very good. Alamanda Amar Lashon Shabadu Lahem Chachamim Lias Noiderboy, that the Chachamim were the ones that made those Lashonis. So then weiter, it's not the Iraisa, it's the Rabbana, which is a Shitas Rish Lakish. Ma'ikal Amema, what are you going to say? Why did Tana start off with Kinuyin? According to this last teretz, we said that it's because Kinuyin in the first Torah, Yad is a drasha, L'chaira, if you say Lashon Shabadu Lahem Chachamim Libam, then it's also the Rabbana. And for the Gemara, Miktani Yadais, does it say in the Mishnah the din of Yadais? Valav Chasuri Kamachasrat Lo. Aktem Nami Yosne Yadais. So the Gemara is saying it's really Chasuri Mechsura. So what the Gemara is saying is that essentially it doesn't even say the words Yadis in the Mishnah at all. So really it's missing some words. So you have to go ahead and you have to add in some words, and you have to learn Yadis Bereisha. So the Gemara, this is how you're going to read it. Kol Yadis Nedarim K'Nedarim, V'chol Kinuni Nedarim K'Nedarim, and then goes on to read Ve'elin Yadis Ha'im L'Chaver Ve'elin Kinuyim Kainim Kainach Kainas. So according to this, the Mishnah is really starting off with the Din Yadis. So that would be very good. So now Zakti Gemara, the Yadis Heichaksiv. So that we're saying that Yadis you learn out of a drasha. So the Gemara wants to know Yadis Heichak, the Yadis Heichaksiv. Where does it say? Which pasuk you learn out the Din Yadis from? And for the Gemara, it says that Midar Parak Vav Pasuk Beis Ish Kiyaf Linder Neder Nazar Lahazal Hashem Betanya, and we learned in a brayso that you can learn out from the fact that it says Nazir Lahazir, a double lashon. Lasois Kinuye Naziris Knaziris. That tells you that Kinuyim of Naziris Knaziris. The Yadis Naziris Knaziris and the Yadis of Naziris are like Naziris. Se'eli Yala ben Naziris. We only know this din by Naziris because it says Nazir Lahazir. Nedarim Minayin. How do you know by Nedarim that Yadis helps? Tavlema Ish Kiyafli Lidar Neder Nazir Lahazir Hashem. And from the fact that the Torah wrote in this pasuk by Naziris, it says a loshen neder, so it's coming to tell you makash Naziris l'nedarim, the nedarim and Naziris. It's coming to tell you that they're similar. We're comparing Naziris to nedarim, and the nedarim to Naziris that they have the same halachas. So that's how you would learn out. Yada is by nedarim, you learn out from a hekesh to Naziris. So now the Gemara, the Brisa explains. Ma Naziris asa bo Yadis Naziris am darim asa behem Yadis darim kana darim. We compare them to say that the same halachas the gam and the Yadis. And you'll say if I cared also Ma Nadarim Oiver bibal yachal. So too just like by Nadarim, if someone's over on a vow that they made, then if someone's over on a neder, you're over on bal yachal. The Baal Ta'acher and Baal Ta'acher, you compare also Baal Ta'acher. After Nazir is the over Baal Yacha and Baal Ta'acher. So you learn out that just like when the Nedarim is a Baal Yacha, if you're over another over Baal Yacha, also we'll say so to Nazir is over Baal Yacha, and so to by Nedarim we'll say that there's an Isser Baal Ta'acher if someone makes a neder to do something tomorrow and he waits. So over Baal Ta'acher. So to by Naziris, if he waits to be Mekayim is din Naziros, he's going to be over on Baal Ta'acher. Uman Adarim ha'av mefer neder bita, and just like by Nedarim is halachos that a father can take away, can be mefer as neder bita. So too the Baal mefer and a husband can mefer the Nedarim of his wife. After Naziris ha'av mefer Naziris bita, Baal mefer Naziris ishtay. So too when Naziris has the same halachos. Zok the Gemara. Maish nagabe Nazirus, dechsiv Nazir lahazir. How come by Nazirus we say you have a drasha Nazir lahazir and you learn out, and therefore you learn out din others, but in Dar Nami Yoksa Lindar Neder, it also says a double lashon of Lindar Neder, the Kesha Lamli. So why do you have to have a Kesha to learn out Yadis Nedarim from the Yadis Nazirus? You have a double lashon Lindar Neder by Nedarim itself. And for the Gemara, Yikasam Neder Lindar, if it would just say Neder Lindor Kidakasav Nazir Lahazir, like it says Nazir Lahazir. So if it would say Neder Lindor that the Neder, which is the thing we're talking about, is before the result, before the action that it's doing, which is Lindor, like it says Nazir Lahazir is the action, and it says that afterwards, Kedika Armitz. And then I would say it's a funny lashon, so maybe you learn out the drasha. The Loitzarech Akesh, talk about not Akesh. But Hashach said Lindar Neder, now that it says Lindar Neder, which is a normal lashon, because first it says Lindar, to make a Neder, which is action. And then it says the result, which is the neder that comes out of it. So you say Dibitar Klashim and Adam, that's normal. You're not going to say it's a double lashon. You're not going to have a drasha out of it. So Dr. Gemara, Hanich Lamandi Islay, Dibitar Klashim Adam. It's very good, okay, very good. According to Mandam holds Dibitar Klashim Adam, but the Torah talks like the language of people. Lamanda Leslay, Dibitar Klashim Adam, Highland Neder my overlay. If you say the Torah is not speaking the way people speak in speech, then what's the Linda Neder? It's actually drasha. And the Gemara, Darshli Lasais, Yadis Nar Kandarim, Makash Zir Zodarim. Then he learned that if you say that if you don't say Dibitar Klashim Adam, then we darshan it to make Yadis Nedarim Kedarim, and then you can learn out Nazirus from Nedarim that Yadis works by Nazirus as well. And Nazir Lahazir Darashli. And what does it do with Nazir Lahazir? Everybody's extra because you learn out Yadis from the Dar. But Gemara Malami, you learn out Nazirus Chal Nazirus. Come to tell you that one Nazirus, the Nazirus could be Chal on another Nazirus. What does it mean in Nazirus? It's Chal Nazirus. That means that if somebody says, I'm a Nazir, so somebody says, Harini Nazir Hayoim, I'm a Nazir today. And then he says again, Harini Nazir Hayoim. He says again, I'm a Nazir. So what's the halacha? The halacha is, if you say Nazirus Chal Nazirus, you would learn out from the Nazir Lahazir that he could have another Nazirus Bichal on him. So Gemara Lamanda Amar Dibra Torah Kloshim Ne Adam. According to the Manda Amar. So if you have two Nazirs on top of one Nazirs on top of another Nazirs, that means the first one would go 30 days, and automatically another one would go into effect after 30 days. It'd be Chal. So Gemara Lamanda Amar Dibra Torah Kloshim Ne Adam. According to Manda says that Dibra Torah Kloshim Ne Adam, so you don't have a drasha. So the Nazir Lahazir Darish Lasas Dinyan Naziris Kanaziris, and Nazir Lahazir uses two darshan that the other Naziris Kanaziris. So Zakni Gemara, Shah Naziris Chal Naziris Manole. So we already know that drasha from Naziris Chal Naziris. Hani Cha Yisrael Le Kamanda Amar Ein Naziris Chal Naziris. It's very good if you hold Naziris, Zman Amar holds Ein Naziris Chal Naziris. So fine, very good. You don't need to have a drasha because there's no such halacha. Al Yisrael Kamanda Amar Naziris Chal Naziris Manole. If you hold like Kamanda Amar Naziris Chal Naziris, where did you know this halacha from? And for the Gemara, Name Akra Lizar. Gemara, you have another drasha from the word, because it could have just said Lizar. Just like it says Lindar Neder by Nadar, it could have said Lizar by Nazir. My Lahazir. What is Lahazir? Shmamina Tarti. So you learn out these two halachas. One, that it tells you Yodas Naziris, and number two, that you learn out the halacha that Naziris is Chal Naziris. B'marava, Zakti Gemara, B'marava, Amri, in Eretz Yisrael, they said, Is Tana, Demapik Leili Yadois, Min Lindar Neder. There's a Tana that learns out the din of Yadois from Lindar Neder, even though it's said, even like the man the Amar that's Dibra Torah Kloshim Ne Adam, the Is Tana, Demapik Leili, Mikachala Yotzim Piv Yasa, learns out from a pasuk from so the Mandam learned that from Linda Neder, and there's another Manda Amar that holds that you can learn that from Chol Yotzim and Piv Yasa. So Chol Yotzim and Piv Yasa would tell you basically that anything that comes out of your mouth works, even a Yad of a Neder would work. Amar Zokta Hilig Gemara, Manadarim Oiver Bebal Yachel. Just like Nedarim, the one that's making the Neder Oiver Bal Yachel, Ubal Ta'achar. So it's like the Gemara, Bishloim, so that was the Gemara said before. The Gemara said that before. Just like Nedarim, you say Yoiver Bal Yachel and Bal Ta'achar, so too Ben Naziris. That would be the drasha. That's how we would learn out, being Makish Naziris to Nedarim. So Frekting Gemara, Bishloim Bal Yachel and Nedarim Mishkach Slay, very good. Bal Yachel and Nedarim, you could find it. You go into Amar Kikazo Eichav Achala. If a guy says, a guy makes a neder, I'm going to eat this bread, and he doesn't eat it, so he's over Mishum Bal Yachal Dvar. It's over Yachal Dvar. He did not do what he said he's going to do. Bal Yachal Naziris Hechem Mishkachla. How do you have Bal Yachal by Naziris? A guy says, I'm going to be a Nazir, so he's over on Issa Naziris if he does not adhere to the halachas that a Nazir must keep. Came to already Nazir, Havli Nazir is a Nazir. Achal kamle be bal yoichal. So if he eats, he's over as a bal yoichal. He's not allowed to eat. Shasa kamle bal yishta. If he drinks, he's over bal yishta. He's over on Isser drinking. But how is it? How do you have that he's over on bal yachal? Amar Rava says, Lavar Labashnaim. You're right. That he's talking to get two isurim. But to say that there's actually like just an Isra by Yachal, no. So you have an Isra by either by Yochal by Yishta plus an Isra of by Yachal. Zok the Gemara. So now the Gemara asks another question. Bal Ta'achar the Naziris Hechem Mishkachla. How do you have Bal Ta'achar? Came down my reading Nazir, Havli Nazir. It says I'm going to be a Nazir. Is a Nazir. Achal kamle by Yochal. If he eats, then he's over by Yochal. So how is it possible that he's How does he get Baal Ta'achar? By Neder, by Nedarim, if a guy makes a Neder, I'm going to do this tomorrow, can he waits, whatever, then he's over in Baal Ta'achar. So how do you have that possible by Nazir? He's like tomorrow, but if the guy says, when I want to be, I will be a Nazir. That's what he says. When I want to be a Nazir, I'll be a Nazir. So in this case, the Naziris is not Chal right away, and is not over an Isal by Yoichal. However, since he waits 3 regalim, if he waits 3 yontifs, then to Mekabel's Naziris on himself, then he's over Baal Ta'achar. That's the halach the Gemara is saying comes out from that. V'yamer k'she'ertza leka Baal Ta'achar. So the Gemara says. So the Gemara is being doicha. The Gemara says no, it's not true. V'yomer k'she'ertza says when I want I'll be a Nazir like Baal Ta'achar. No Baal Ta'achar because I never have to be Mekabel Naziris. I'm saying when I want to do it. So if I never want to do it, then why should I ever be Bal Yachol? That's the Gemara's being doicha the last teretz. So Amar Rava wants to say a different teretz. It's talking about a case where a guy says, I do not want to depart from this world until I will be a Nazir. From that time that he says like that, he becomes a Nazir. Why? Just like we find, there's a Tosefta in Git in Parak Dalem Lachi Yebez. If a guy says, the guy tells his wife, here's your divorce papers. I want it to go into effect, the divorce, 1 hour before I die. So what's the halacha? So it says, she is not allowed to eat truma right away. Why? Because we're afraid he's going to die in an hour, and then if she eats truma, it will be be'isr, because maybe her get was already chal. So halacha, she's not allowed to eat truma. Yeah. If a divorce, someone is married to a kohen, a woman that's married to a kohen, she could eat truma, but once she gets divorced, she's not allowed to eat truma anymore. So Amar Rina is like the Gemara, kol shaydev shaydev don't mind. You see, every second you say maybe the husband's going to die, well, chayshim die. So like the Gemara, hachinami la'al taver nazir. In this case, when he says, lo yipater min ha'olam achei nazir, the halacha is he becomes a nazir right away. Because maybe you say maybe now he's going to die before his mashram is in Naziris, and if he's not Mekabel's in Naziris now, the halach is over Baal Ta'achar in that case. However, he's not even by Yoichal Ma'yishta in that case, because the Naziris still did not go into effect. It wasn't Chal.